Hi, my name is Dave, and today I'm going to give you a tour of this charming little Manson micro lathe. It's got about a 2-inch swing, and it's charming. This is a 6-inch scale you can see here to give you a sense of how big it is. It is totally microscopic, and yet it is fully functional. As a matter of fact, it's got some very charming features that you would normally find on a bigger lathe. And it's of course got limitations for the size as well. It comes with a complete set of all sorts of goodies that you can get for it. This lathe dates from 1947 or so. As a matter of fact, it's about the same age that I am. And I think it's holding up at least as well as I am. Anyhow, it's pretty good. It's in good shape. It's got a lot of little goodies here. Mounting plates and dogs and collets. Unfortunately, I don't have the collet holder, but there's a set of 4 collets. This is the 4-jaw chuck, and that's the key for the 4-jaw chuck. This is a piece I actually turned in the 4-jaw chuck, and you can see the finish is not bad. I only finished it a little ways because I couldn't run into the chuck jaws, so I could only finish it a little ways. So you can see the finish is pretty good there. Here's another piece I just finished up. Nice piece of aluminum. Did that by turning between centers. I'll show you that in a video here in a few minutes. Lovely little thing. It's got all sorts of neat features, and it comes with this charming little toolbox labeled Manson Lathe in Los Angeles, California. And here are the centers for it. Let me show you the features of this thing. There's the carriage, and the carriage travel is a little bit rough, a little bit coarse. You can adjust the tension on it a little bit here. As a matter of fact, you can lock it down with this screw. That's for making a nice finishing cut going across. So you can use it by hand, and it's pretty usable by hand, but it's also got a slow motion. And let me show you how that works. I've got it turning now. If I engage this, you'll see this start to turn very slowly. The lathe has 2 speeds. This is the lowest speed, and it's a very good speed for finishing. Okay, so there you can see, and here's your cross slide. Turn this off. Okay, I've taken the back plate off. Back plate is a nice piece of cast aluminum. It's even got ventilation. It's got a little fan. The motor has a little fan on it. Now it's set right now for the lowest speed. So you can see that this belt here is on that pulley, and I think if I am clever I can quickly change it to the higher speed. It's not the kind of thing you do in a real hurry. Now it's set to the higher speed on the lathe, and let me show you what that looks like when you operate it. I think you can probably hear that it's going faster. If I engage this, it's cranking along pretty good. Still considerably slower than the spindle speed. They did a nice job on designing this. The gearing in there is very much like a real honest to goodness lathe, big people lathe. Okay, turn that off. I wanted to show you some of the other features on here, show you how to operate this thing. This locking mechanism is very nice. Matter of fact, very comparable to a modern lathe. You've got a locking mechanism for the tailstock. The tailstock has a lock. As a matter of fact, it even will push out the center, or the drill chuck. If I had a drill chuck, it'll push it out automatically, just like a real honest to goodness big people lathe. This tool post, was state of the art back in 1947 when this thing was made. This is the way it was done. It's a lantern style tool post. Any of you that are familiar with machines have seen something like this. A complicated little gizmo with lots of little parts. Fairly unfriendly, user unfriendly, compared to a modern quick change tool post or something. But it did the job. So there's that. Here it is. And I don't know if I showed you this, but you can adjust the tension on the carriage to hold it down, lock it down real good, like that. And then you can make a facing cut like so. That's how I cut the face on this piece right here. Just like that. Real cute little lathe. This is a Manson 2-inch lathe. For comparison, this is a South Bend 10K lathe. I thought you might like to see them next to each other to give you a comparison. Okay, here we are, close up. Let's see if I can show you how well this works. Okay, here let's take a little cut here using manual feed. Find that when I use the automatic feed, unfortunately, it doesn't work very well. Not because it doesn't work, it works, but it causes the carriage to shift position ever so slightly. And the cut becomes a little bit deeper. So I'm doing it manually. Can't do it very well, as you can tell. Ooh, it is so touchy. It's making a pretty nice finish on that piece of aluminum. Probably the gibs need to be adjusted. Causing belt slips now. Okay. It's not too bad a finish. Okay, as you can see, this little Manson lathe is now taking a finishing cut on a piece of aluminum. It's on auto feed. It's taking a pretty nice initial cut. It's probably going to take another one to completely smooth it all off. Show you what it looks like when you stop it. You can see it's one little place down through there. It's not quite getting yet. So we'll have to come back for another pass. I don't know if you can see the little tiny chips that it's producing. Very, very small. Someone described them online as about the size of a human hair. I'd say that's not too far from the truth. This is at the slowest speed. Not sure if it would be worthwhile to kick it up to a higher speed or not. Okay, let's rewind it. I found that it's best to back it off, disengage it, and then come back and go back in. Let's start about there and see how it looks. Pretty nice finish on that piece of aluminum. I don't think I could do any better with any of my bigger lathes. I hope you've enjoyed my tour of this Manson 2-inch micro lathe. Thank you very much.